But what we also have to recognize is that our homicide rates are so much higher than other industrialized countries. I mean, by like a mile. And most of that is attributable to the easy, ready availability of firearms, particularly handguns.
As we welcome you back to America's Forum, J.D. Hayworth with Miranda Kahn. We just heard President Obama at a town hall event in South Carolina, of all places, taking a moment to talk about gun control.
The president said along with homicide rates being attributed to easy access to guns, legislation such as background checks are necessary, as well as just common sense.
This as 9 states have passed permitless concealed carry bills that allow Americans in those states to carry concealed weapons in public without a permit. Some of these things are caught up in a process such as vetoes from those state governors. And many say a shift in pro-gun legislation is due to so many GOP majorities showing up in so many state legislatures. For more on the story, let's call on Erich Pratt, Director of Communications for Gun Owners of America. Eric, as you Skype in from Northern Virginia, we are so pleased to have you today. We'll get to Virginia specifically in just a minute, but you heard from the president. Is there a correlation between homicide rates and easy access to firearms?
Well, quite the opposite. Actually, quite the opposite. The correlation is actually between high homicide rates and gun control. I mean, remember Washington, D.C. and Chicago when they had their very strict draconian gun bans? They were every year battling it out for the unenviable title as the murder capital of the country. And it was only after they finally were forced to allow people to own and purchase firearms that they saw their murder rates decrease. And that's really what we've been seeing. You were mentioning concealed carry. And concealed carry in this country is on the rise. In fact, in the last 5 years, the amount of concealed carry holders has doubled. And yet at the same time, we've seen the gun homicide rate decrease about 12%. So we're literally seeing more guns on the street and less crime. Just like that famous book, the title of that famous book by John Lott, More Guns, Less Crime. And that's exactly true.
You believe that 100%?
Absolutely.
More guns
in
leads
fact,
to fewer crimes.
In fact, so do police. 90% of police support the right of individuals, citizens, to carry concealed. And in fact, almost 90% of them say that the way you reduce and stop the mass murders that have been occurring in our gun-free zones is to allow civilians to carry firearms.
Let me talk to you, let me talk to you, Eric, specifically about what is going on in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Terry McAuliffe, who spent a lot of time and money helping liberal candidates, is now the governor of the Old Dominion. He wants one thing, but it seems the state legislature wants something else. Fill us in.
Yeah, well, he was really sailing into some stiff winds because polls of the American people show that they don't want more gun control. That's Gallup and Pew and others. And as you've already been referencing, the movement in the states has been away, repealing gun control laws that exist. And so McAuliffe takes office and he wants to actually like tack into the wind, and he got smacked down. He wanted to first of all, he wanted to resurrect handgun rationing here in the Commonwealth. We used to have a 1 handgun a month law, and it was finally repealed under Governor McConnell, who interestingly had actually voted for the law originally, but he had come under so much heat that he said, okay, I'll sign a repeal of it if you'll elect me. And he made good on his word, and he did. There were other things that the governor was hoping to do, like limit magazine capacity, which really would cost lives. I mean, we've seen just in the last 2 months in Georgia and Texas cases where homeowners had their front doors kicked in by multiple attackers, multiple intruders. Anywhere from 30 to 40 shots were exchanged. If those homeowners had been forced to rely on a 6-shot revolver, they would be dead today. So telling American citizens, we're going to tell you how many bullets you're allowed to defend yourself with, that's going to cost lives.
Erich Pratt, very quickly, where can viewers go if they want more information about your organization, sir?
Gunowners.org, and I encourage people to sign up for our free email alerts. We'll keep you up to date with what's going on in Washington, D.C. and around the country.
Fair enough. Erich Pratt, we very much appreciate your time. Who knows, maybe the state legislature in Virginia saved Governor McAuliffe from himself, so to speak, politically. There's more ahead on America's Forum. Stay tuned.